Good evening, people. Okay, so it's me again. I want us all to see what is happening in this country, and I want us to have open eyes and you know sift through the facts, what's happening, what's going on. We must remember one thing: Jacob Zuma was the president of this country, right? And he obviously had a very big following to become the president of this country. So now this whole time the Zondo Commission continued, and we've seen everything. I followed quite a bit of it. And we actually saw Mr. Zuma point the finger to Johan Rupert. He actually mentioned that, with the whole Pravin Gordhan saga and how the Ruperts threatened that met Fikile Mbalula on the Ruperts estate and send a message through Mbalula to Zuma about, to instate Pravin Gordhan, otherwise they will collapse the rand. So, Zuma clearly said they did collapse the rand, and we all saw, obviously, the rand went to like 18 or something, I think close to 18. And so that rings true, actually. That rings true. I also know about that specific estate of Mr. Rupert and where they have their meetings with business people and influential people. Then there's also the fact of that Zuma was never found guilty. He was never found guilty. I mean, this entire Zondo Commission, they couldn't come forward with evidence to find him guilty and send him to jail. So, and after that statement he made, I kind of understand what he's saying, that these guys are very much in control. And he's not going to sit there or go to the commission any further. And, he referred to it as nonsense. He referred to it as it's a witch hunt and whatever. So I am not in any way saying that he's innocent of corruption or whatsoever. But what I am saying is he has not been found guilty to date. They haven't come forward with evidence and said, okay, he's guilty. He needs to go to jail or pay for it or whatever. So that to me is a big concern, because we see more and more protests or people coming together to fight for Zuma, and some of them are saying they'll fight with their lives. And so I understand that situation, but it's very serious. It's very serious. I would like to know, obviously, with this entire Zondo Commission, which is probably a bit of a scam as well, because some of the stuff came out like that Zuma mentioned. Why didn't they bring Johan Rupert in front of the Zondo Commission? Why not? I mean, there's allegations that he's really manipulating the state. So bring him in front of the Zondo Commission. I did release the videos and stuff of Mr. De Beer, who controls African economies and whatever. Bring him in front of the Zondo Commission. Let him explain to South Africa what transpired here. So they have that commission, and it's been extended for 3 months. Do it. But I'm afraid the time is very, very limited, because within 3 days, Zuma will be locked up, or if it is not handed over, the instruction is clear, then the police minister and the deputy police minister was instructed by the court to hand him over. So we might have a fight on our hands soon. We might see a fight, a conflict break out in South Africa soon. Then there's also the issue, the internal fighting currently going on within the Zulu nation itself, after the king's passing and the regent of the nation, his wife's passing, and with the new Zulu king, to be instated. That in itself is causing issues within the Zulu family, because some people are claiming that the new king is more politically aligned to this new cabal setup. And obviously others are saying he's a traditional king. I actually honestly hope he's a traditional king, because that will help save our country. But if he's not, we might have a serious issue very soon. So, please check out what's happening and what's going on. Keep your eyes open. Find the truth. It's out there. It's visible. I don't listen much to what the media say and portray their own opinions. It's all opinions. We need to see facts, people. We need to see facts. And everything I've said to date so far, I am willing and I'm able to follow it up with facts. These things were physically said and these things physically happened. It's facts. It's not e-news, Johan Rupert controlled e-news opinions or narratives. And it's not, like I said, I did reach out to the media. I did reach out and I had no response on these allegations, which is on record and it's quite serious. And I can't understand why would they not be interested in such a story? Because they are controlled and they are owned. And some people asked me, about my surname. Obviously, people want to know who am I? Where do I come from? I'm a boer. I'm a boer. That's who I am. Luckily recently, like a week ago, one of my extended family members, the son of Professor Brian Gaiba, sent me a book that he wrote about the genealogy of the Gaiba surname. And we've been in South Africa from the early 1800s. Well, that's the first recorded person that died on record anyhow. So possibly longer than that. There's a big gap from when they left Europe and came here. So possibly longer than that. So I'm a Boer. And I stand up for my country and all its people. But I also stand up for my own people. That's been really. I want to ask this question actually to specifically Neil de Beer. To Neil de Beer, he goes on videos every day, and everybody that challenge or questions him, he goes like, "Where are you? Where were you? Where were you?" I'm asking him tonight, where were you when my people were murdered for 27 years and raped and maimed for 27 years? Where were you, Neil de Beer? You were making money. You and your cabal friends were making money out of this country, out of our suffering, out of our murder, out of our people's fear. You were making money. And that fear stops now. We don't fear anymore. And we definitely don't fear you. So never, ever, ever tell me again, we know who you are and we know where you live and you're going to get killed. Never, ever do that again. Because I know who you guys are as well. I know who you are. We all know who you are. Okay? None of them. Johan Rupert, where were you when my people got murdered and maimed and killed and raped? Where were you? Where were Oppenheimers? Where were they? The same people that milked this country in apartheid, right? That milked this country in apartheid. And still milk this country today with the black politician connections. Forget about the Guptas. That is small fry, people. That is small fry. Look at the real problem in this country. This real cabal with their Rothschild friends. And it's not conspiracy theories. It's fact. Rupert, Rothschild, they are in cahoots. Okay? George Soros, they all meet with these guys. Neil de Beer sits on the World Economic Forum with all these cabal people. So it's not conspiracy theory. This is real. And this will cause a war in our country if we do not act. I have today sent the affidavit to the Zondo Commission. And I will stand there and I will rip them apart. And I swear to God I will do that. I will rip them apart. Even those clever judges sitting there and playing games with this country and laughing. Cyril Ramaphosa goes sits in Zonda and laughs at everything. It's not a joke, man. This country is ruined by you guys. And now you come with your new plan to save this country. Order out of chaos. Exactly how it's planned. And we will not stand by. We will not. I'm asking this country's people, black, white, colored, Indian, stand up to this cabal. Stand up to these politicians because none of them, show me one of them that unites this country or the people. It's all division. And it's all for gain. It's all for gain. Tell me, Cyril Ramaphosa must tell this country why it's so important and he wants to, he spoke to us since he became president. How many times did he get involved in presidential actions? It's all about, he comes out once a month, talk to the country, and sometimes in the beginning we have to wait for him for 4 hours. We have to wait for him. The entire country sits here and wait for him. What arrogance. And then he comes out and, my fellow South Africans, he reads a statement like we are kindergarten children. That's what he does. And we all sit back and just like, oh, family meeting. This is no joke anymore, people. Really. Our country is going down the drain. Every day, every single one of you see new corruption. It's so blatant and so overwhelming that you cannot concentrate on the one corruption. It cannot be investigated because the next day the new one pops up. And the day after another one pops up. So this is just wrong, man. This is just wrong. So I hope and I trust. I did point out the fact that Neil de Beer said Zuma knows exactly who killed Chris Hani. And I hoped that Zuma, and I still hope, that Jacob Zuma comes out and tell the story publicly. Because if he's honest to the public and he exposes this cabal and these politicians that are in cahoots, South Africans will understand. We will, all of us. We will understand. But do not go down. Do not go to jail for contempt of court. I mean, that is just, think about it, people. Sending the previous president to court for contempt of court. I mean, that is just, doesn't make sense, does it? And if he does go without putting up a fight or without, then it raises even more questions. Unless obviously they want a fight. Unless obviously they want chaos in this country. Because I'm telling you, there's millions of Zuma supporters that are not going to sit back and watch this going down. While his family is calling for people to stand up. We must remember this. So I hope and trust South Africans will wake up for a change. And stop following blindly. And stop sitting and act as if everything is just okay in this country. Because it's not. It's not. And I'm not going to get involved in any of the other issues, the virus and the vaccines and these things, because I am not, if things that I don't have facts on, I will not get involved. Well, I do have one fact. I do have a fact that our constitution states that no person will be subject to medical or scientific trials or whatever. It states it clearly in our constitution. I actually read through our entire constitution. And it states it very clearly. So why did they put it in there in the first place? And now the question is, Ramaphosa stands on that stage and he says, the vaccine is safe, and he deems it safe and he deems it efficient. Is he a medical expert or a scientist? And he relies on, give us a document. Everybody that gets a vaccine, I'm asking this, give them a document that is signed by a doctor or a medical expert that says this is 100% safe and effective. Let them sign it. Then I will say, everybody just get it. Just get it. But it's like all the laws, they're changing laws in this country during a pandemic because we're all focused and fear. We all focused on the pandemic and we all fear, right? So they're changing laws. They are implementing new policy all over the show. We're getting, Johan, like I said, this specifically bugs me and I will not rest until it's answered. How did Johan Rupert come in 2 weeks in this pandemic in South Africa? Came on ETE, the news that he controls, E-News Live, and he said, this is not a pause, this is a reset. What does he know? What is he? He's a businessman, or is he a globalist, kabbalist? Or is he, what does he know? Did he sit with his chommies and decided this is not a pause and a reset? Or did he know, did he have specifics how long this virus was going to last? To say something, this is not a pause, this is a reset. I want to know. If none of other South Africans care, I care. Because I see millions of our people suffering. I see millions of our people sitting without jobs. The poor people in the restaurant industry, you know what? They sit without jobs for a second time. And remember, those are people living off scraps, living day to day. They don't have big saving accounts and backup money. It's people living day to day. And there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of them. So explain to them why you can fill a bus full of people, or you can do other things, but you can fill a mall, but you cannot open a restaurant. Why? Explain that to them. Give us the reasons. Give us facts. Not bullshit anymore. I am really upset and I had enough. So I don't mind putting my face out here. I don't mind saying the things I'm saying. And I don't mind approaching the Zondo Commission with facts. I don't mind, because these things must be exposed. And these people must be exposed for this country to become free. And we need to declare our independence from this British European cabal. The same people I mentioned in the earlier videos. They are all bankers in Europe and UK connected with their businesses. It's a mess, man. They run our country and we have no say. We are treated like prisoners in our own country, and they roll out new laws. They run the Zondo Commission, our constitutional courts, like it's their tool. I'm sorry. Our Chief Justice in this country, Neil de Beer, told me, fact, it's on record. The Chief Justice met him. He said, I didn't want to meet him. He wanted to meet me. And then he agreed to work with me. And the next moment, the Chief Justice goes on long leave while we have this constitutional crisis in our country, people. He's the most senior person in that court. Now, he goes on long leave and he steps down in September. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. We must ask these questions. So that's why I referred the other night to Raymond Zondo as the Chief Justice, because we don't have a Chief Justice at the moment. He's already handed himself over to Neil de Beer, and he's already gone on long leave until he retires. Obviously, to keep him out of the firing line. This needs to end, people. I hope you all wake up. I actually spoke to this guy, Double O Days. He's got lots of followers on YouTube. I actually spoke to him today. And you know what? Listen to that guy's videos. He's got facts. He's actually very logical. And that's something that's missing in our country, is logic. I don't see it anymore. So people, sorry if I react strongly, but this is serious. I've got children. And all of you have got children. And we need to live in this country after this nonsense is over. After this pandemic is over. And I promise you, it'll be a very, very different country if we do not act now. We will not have a constitution left. The already constitution that they're planning to change, we will not have a constitution left. If bit by bit, every time we get a lockdown and they close the alcohol and they fear there's something new and something changed. CR17. Why is that not open to the public? Why is that a secret? Use the Freedom of Information Act and show us who owns our president. It's very simple. But why should it be a secret? We can't see how the billionaires and the Ruperts and the Oppenheimers and the Soroses got Cyril Ramaphosa elected. Can't we see that? And why are other political parties and politicians covering for that as well? Why aren't they fighting to get that open? I told everyone, we do not have opposition parties in this country. We do not. I've taken on Johan Steenhuisen on his own Facebook. And I told him we do not have opposition parties in this country. And immediately afterwards, some person said, okay, everything you say here will be challenged with the law and be careful and whatever. Yes, and then I did. Then I took out news reports of them not challenging Jacob Zuma when he said publicly, he knows exactly who steals here and where they steal from. Public funds. So it's the people in government. Not a single politician challenged him. Julius Malema, Mr. Malema, clever one. He's going to disappear very soon. You're going to see he's just going to start fading away. Because he came out today and he said, okay, yeah, he agrees with the sentencing of Jacob Zuma and whatever. No? Remember that. He drank tea with him just the other day. Remember that. So, Julius Malema, he stated on E-News, Johan Rupert's channel, he stated on E-News, that they asked him, what is your thought about this statement by Mr. Zuma, that he knows exactly who in Parliament steals and where they're stealing from, public funds? He said, no, don't talk to me, go talk to the police. He's got a constitutional obligation in this country. He's got every single one of them breached a constitutional obligation, which they swore in front of God and in front of this entire nation. I asked, because now it shouldn't sound like it's only the black people, right? Because I asked the Freedom Front Plus leader while he was live on radio, talking all kinds of crap and whatever. Everything is just fine and okay. So I phoned in and I got through it. Luckily, I got through immediately. And I asked him, this is your chance. It was the end of 2017. Jacob Zuma just made himself complicit number one in this country by stating that. Take him to court. Do it now. And he said, no, we don't do things like that in Parliament. we prefer to sort these things out at the ballot box. So I ask him as well, what is your position here? What have you done for my people? What have you done for any people in South Africa? You guys sit in that parliament like, you're dead wood, man. You are all dead wood. You sit there and you do nothing for this country. The DA, think about this, the DA, from 97 until 2 years ago, they never mentioned a word about farm murders, a word. But suddenly, after the Black Monday protest, when most of South Africa shut down the country about farm murders, suddenly the DA turned around and like, farm murders, farm murders. Ach man, we're not stupid, man. We're not stupid. You guys are puppets. Okay, you play the narrative. It seems there's action you just follow. Just get more votes, just get more votes. Musi Maimane, DA leader, stepped down. Neil de Beer said very clearly, he works for a German business consortium. Right? His job is to go into the rural areas and prepare them for this independent election, direct elections. So it's all this cabal's play game, man. And we sit in South Africa and we act like everything is just fine. Are we stupid, South Africans? That is my question. White, black, colored, and Indian. Are we stupid? Because this is facts. Go check it out. You know, we tend to, I don't watch the news because it's negative. That's why you know nothing. That's why you know nothing. I don't get involved in politics. You've got children in this country, or you will have probably. So you need to know what's going on. And you need to know if there's a future for them. But we got so used to Facebook and Netflix and all this funny lacquer stuff that we totally forget about our future. About this is our country, not theirs. This is not politicians' country. We, the people, elect the politicians to serve us, to make sure we got water and food security, physical security, all these things that we do not get. I see all the, it's always interesting. I see this new CEO. I actually emailed him as well, the CEO of Eskom, because they screwed me around with my product, which I am very proud of. It's my dad's invention. And they screwed me around at Eskom, right? They wanted to be corrupt. Buying it, I've got a distributor supplying it, but they're buying it through third parties, right? So I emailed them directly and said, either they do it correctly, or they stop. Then I don't want to continue, because I'm not going to get my name, my company name, and my father's patent dragged through the ground, okay? Because of their corruption, people. Because of their corruption. So now I see South Africans are like, oh, Johan Reiter. I worked my entire career on big industry, on mines and big industry. I'm telling you, if you want to save Eskom, you send the Hawks in there. You send, oh yeah, shit, sorry, I mentioned the Hawks. Do we even have investigation units in this country? Because South Africa, you must learn, you must listen. Trillions, not millions and billions, trillions of rands has been stolen in this country. Where's the investigations? Show me the investigations, Hawks. No, because you serve the political cabal. You don't serve the country. You don't follow your mandate. Your constitutionally obligated mandate, Hawks. No, you fight political witch hunts. That's what you do. You don't serve the people that elected the government of this country. So it's very easy. It's very simple, people. You transfer R1 billion to someone's account. There's an electronic trail. You cannot hide electronic money these days. So we're putting the Hawks. We're putting a challenge out to the Hawks. Who are you? Where are you? Do you even exist, or you are a political tool in this country? Everything that you've been fed, people, is bullshit. Sorry for my language, but that's what it is. We need to stand up, and we need to unite, and we need to save our country. And black people should stop hating white people, and white people should stop hating black people, and vice versa. Before these people took over our country, way back, you know what? We had our wars and our issues in this country, but it was not continuous. It stopped. We fought, the Boers and the Zulus had one fight, one war. And to us, the Boer people, it was such a significant miracle that we promised 16 December every year, we will honor that. We made a vow to God that we will honor that. So to us, we respected the Zulu nation because they was the most fierce and feared nation in Africa at the time. And so we respected the fact, although we wondered. And afterwards, we didn't fight each other again. We drew the lines and that's it. We respected each other. But now it's this racism, this hatred boiling up and boiling over. I mean, this Julius Malema guy, where did he come from? He doesn't even know our history. He was born into this ANC, was obviously brought up because he speaks well. I always give him compliments, actually, because he's actually very sharp, and he's very sharp on his feet and with his reactions and responses. But where does he come from to create this racial hatred and tension? And to tell me, as a South African, he will take my property. No, my man, you got no right over my property. Nothing. Zero. Nobody gave you that right. No one. Nothing. Your few percent followers with the red, so they stand out, so we all fear them. That is total political playbook, people. Right? We all fear Julius Malema. Ah, come on, man. Come on. He's got a handful of supporters, and you know who his supporters is? The bad guys. I'm sorry, and I'm not saying all of them. First of all, I am not talking down on the supporters of the ANC, of the DA, of the EFF, because you guys are just deceived. You are just deceived. You follow blindly, and I'm sorry. What good can come out of a war in this country? Tell me what good can come out of it. Julius Malema, EFF. You prop them up with all this hatred and then what? Then what? Now we need to stop this, people. And we need to stop it soon, because we will have a war on our hands in this country soon, and I'm warning you. It's fact. Okay. I hope this sinks in, or some of it sinks in, and I hope people start thinking, please, and continue with what I'm saying. Start asking more questions. Okay, and if you know anything more than what I'm telling you, share it with the rest of the people. Okay, I thank you, and I hope you have a good evening. And I hope, by all means, I hope Mr. Zuma comes clean, so South Africans can start taking back our country, declaring our independence from this cabal. We've always been supplying the crown. We've always been supplying Europe. They milk our country so there's nothing left. And it's a joke, people. I mean, the media, which they own, brag about it every day, and we never see. And we always put our trust in the politicians. Now the DA is going to fight the ANC. Come on, show me where they ever fought them. Show me where the DA ever went to court, took a senior ANC politician to court, won the case, and the guy is arrested and went to jail. Never happened. Vice versa, all of them. Never happened. It's never going to happen if we keep those people in power. Because they don't care about you. They don't care about you, the future, your children. It's all about their pockets, people. It's all about their pockets. So, I can only hope and pray that we all start seeing this and stand together. And I say this today. I respect other people. I respect other cultures. I actually have more respect for culture, people that cling to their culture. I don't care if you're a Boer, if you're a Brit, if you're a Zulu, if you're a Xhosa, I actually respect you if you are proud to be a Zulu, because I am proud to be a white South African. I'm proud to be a Boer. I am. I'm proud to be a Boer because I've got a history in this country that comes a long, long, long way. We fought the British. Think about this. The British came to our shores. The Boers fought the British. They came back with their evil plan, put our women and children in concentration camps, killed 30,000+ of them, right? Burned all the farms. But then remember, like I say, the Zulus also fought the British because they were also fighting for the independence of this country. But then the British obviously took over. And they are still very much involved in this country's operation, day-by-day operation. They are. They're very much involved. They tell us what to do. Cyril Ramaphosa goes stands there by the Queen. Hey, Queen, please, man. Where is these? And then they go on TV and then they go like colonialism and apartheid and they blame all these things. But they run to the Queen, right? And we don't ask questions ever. Well, I thank you. I get a bit worked up about these things because we're really stupid, people. We're really stupid. And I hope we can find a neutral ground in this country as a South African. First of all, we call ourselves South Africans and then we fight for our South Africa. Because then we can win. Then it's very easy. Thank you. I wish you a good evening.